zero to glow. Life stories wild like a late night dream. We're spilling the tea and it's hot like steam. Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. From trending news to the tales untold. Spinning the wheel, let the stories unfold. Catch us in the vibe where the chatter grows. With a pair that keeps you on your toes. What's the buzz? What's the word? Spill it fast, haven't you heard? Brutsy and Kitty, we're here to play. Life and gossip every single day. Laugh a little louder, who needs control? It's the Brutsy and Kitty show. Truth or dare, we're taking the leap. Stories that'll make you laugh or weep. Tune in now, let the fun explode. This is your stop, it's the Brutsy code.
Kitty, make the intro.
Good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday. It is Tuesday, isn't it? It's Tuesday.
I think so. Everyone, and she always asks why I don't ever get her to do the intro, guys. Starting with the bands. Let's start with the bands. What is up, good people? You're watching the Brutsy and Kitty show. We're bringing you an exclusive, fantastic, amazing show today, guys. Quite an interesting. Let's just go back to yesterday. We've had quite a bit of backlash, a lot of comments about this BAFTAs thing. I know that's not the subject today, but we will just sort of jump in between two at the minute. Kitty, you've had some reaction regarding the BAFTAs situation. Yeah. What's going on?
There seems to be this that he should apologise, which he has done. The guy has done it, but it's not good enough for some people, and I just don't know what they want. What do you want? And all they keep saying is it's a black thing, and I won't understand. So maybe you can tell me what it is.
You just won't understand these things, Kitty. It's a black thing.
It's a black thing.
Yeah, you won't understand it. Sorry, you're not down. This is spiritual. This goes back to the ancestors. You won't understand it.
I don't get it, and I'm like, what? He's apologised. He said he's sorry. He said it's not usually a word he uses. It's not in his vocabulary. It just came out. It's Tourette's. You can't control it. It's not good enough. What do people want? Do they want blood, sweat, and tears?
They do want blood, sweat, and tears, Kitty. They do indeed.
I just don't get what people want. If somebody tells me and they're like, Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo need an apology, and I actually said, has anybody asked whether they want an apology? Has anybody actually asked those two actors whether they want an apology? Because as far as I'm concerned, they handled it like a boss. And from what I can gather from my sources, because I know somebody that was there, as I said.
Oh yeah.
This guy was ticking for about an hour before. There was an announcement to the audience and the guests saying there is a person here with Tourette's.
Yeah.
There was a 2-hour delay. They actually cut out somebody shouting about Free Palestine, and apparently that was a black man, so that wasn't racist as well.
But that's another black thing you don't understand, Kitty. This is all this. What's it called? Culture appropriation. You're trying to steal our culture, ain't you? What's going on?
I don't get it. So when he said what he said, I'm assuming, and I can only assume, I can't talk for Michael B. Jordan because obviously I'm not black. I'm assuming that they knew what was going on, because the way they dealt with it was like, well, oh, right, continue. That's Tourette's. But everyone's like,
Yeah. Afternoon, Claire. Claire, as always, she's always connected. She's disconnected, and she's got a nephew, and I think she wanted to share some stories. But Claire, would you be able to come over onto the YouTube, because TikTok is just like a pain in the arse, and it just makes it really difficult for us, and we can't do the other stuff. Just go to Brutsy Entertainment on YouTube, And in the chat, there is a just go onto the chat. You'll see me and Kitty live. See you there, okay? And in the chat, there'll be a what's it face there? It'll be in the messages. Let's go in the comments. It'll be in the comment section. Just click on that, and it will bring you in. You don't have to come in with your camera. It's fine. You can come in with just your lovely voice. And because you wanted to share some bits, this isn't the main subject of today, but we thought we have to sort of stay relevant. You know, we got to give the people what they want. We can't just shoot some subjects out there and then not sort of follow up on them. You know, interaction is obviously one of the major things that we want from you guys. We want to create a lovely sort of environment where people can talk and have our debates on different things. Hi guys, Nettie here. Nettie's in the chat. Shout out to you, Nettie.
Hey, how are you? Yeah, can you tell me what it is people want, please? Because I don't know. This guy has apologised. He's apologised till he's probably blue in the face, and he's probably.
It's not enough, Kitty. It's not enough. You're not black. You don't understand this. That person used the N-bomb, and we're all offended. This one's taken us back 50 years, unfortunately, Kitty.
Excuse me. He also said the B word, right? And I am one of those. I'm not offended.
Well, you're owning it. Like, you know, we're keeping on to this whatever we want to call it, but you know, this this black privilege that we got. This black privilege where we have the right to be offended when the N-bomb is used. You know what? So many people are really deeply offended by it, and more white people that I know are more offended about it. I haven't actually spoken to many black people that have said, "Oh, I know they're deeply offended by this," but a lot of white people they're really offended. Like, they just can't believe it. Like, you know, they're like, "Oh my God, what's the world coming to where someone uses this kind of foul, disgusting language?"
I think the BBC have got a lot to answer for. They had 2 hours.
Oh, you're blaming more black people, eh? The BBC.
At least I said it was big.
Yeah. Don't culture appropriate. Don't take that bit away from us. We'll keep that black privilege.
Yeah. But I just don't get, you know, this guy. I mean, I was doom scrolling last night, and there were so many lives, and there were people literally kicking off, going, "It's not enough. It's not enough." The BBC, they let it go. They then removed this guy that was this black guy that gave a speech and said "Free Palestine" at the end. They removed that, but they didn't remove that word. Well, I can't speak for the BBC. I think the BBC are a very, very dodgy situation.
This better not be more racism saying that the BBC are dodgy.
I really, really think they are. I mean, you only have to look at the statue that's outside the BBC.
So I'm having a bit too much fun with this BBC thing, aren't I? Shout out to Marie in the chat. Yeah, I feel like, you know, everyone else is bloody offended. More white people are offended by this that I've actually heard of. Like, they're like, "I just can't believe this language is so on." And a lot of people have come to me and they've messaged me privately. They don't want it out. I've had quite a few messages. They're like, "Oh, this word should never be used. I don't care." A lot of people won't let go of who's taught the person the word. Like, you know, a lot of people really ain't letting that go. A lot of people are like, you know, well, how did they learn that word? Why aren't they saying jam sandwiches? Why are they saying the N-bomb?
Do you know, I think I explained it, and I hope I explained it a little bit clearer, but I'll say it again. In these situations, I can only imagine this is what their brain does, right? It goes, "What is the worst thing I can say right now? Right now. This minute. Don't say it. Don't say it." And it just flies out their mouth. Do you know the same guy said "up the Queen" when he went to get his MBE?
Treasonous! I'm more offended about that. Treasonous. No.
He actually said "up the Queen." So he was walking up to get his medal.
Yeah.
His MBE or OBE, I can't remember which one he is, because he's done that much work with Tourette's.
Yeah.
He went up to get it, and just before he got there, he just blurted out "up the Queen." And
yeah, well.
The Queen was as cool as a cucumber, gave him his MBE, didn't chop his head off with the knife, you know.
Yeah. You know, with this, you know, this outrage when it comes to race and stuff like that, you're like, you know, we do have to remember we're in this day and age of social media and news. People get paid good money by being deeply offended. That's why I've decided I'm going to be deeply offended by it. Like, you know, for me, this kid's the scum of the earth. This guy, he shouldn't have said that. I'm deeply offended by it. Like, I feel like my man has been taken. I might even sue.
I think you should.
I'm gonna sue.
I'm
I'm
going
suing
to.
the I'm suing the BBC. Actually, I need a mil. I'll tell you what. If they give me £1 million settlement, I'll speak to Trump and I'll tell Trump to drop his £10 billion lawsuit.
You know, my TV license as well while you're at it.
Sorry, is Claire? How are you getting on, Claire? Get in the queue. Get in the queue. Okay, Claire. Marie says that. Claire, how are you getting on, girl? Have you found us yet on YouTube? It's in the comments. All you have to do is go in the comments, click on that link, and it will bring you straight in. Because Claire had a story, she wanted to tell a personal story, and I thought that would be quite good for this.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you, my personal thing of Tourette's. I mean, we went on holiday to Tunisia, with my godson I told you about yesterday.
Yeah.
And my son, being an absolute idiot that he is, that where the children's club was, you used to have to go down the stairs, and it looked a bit ominous. So my son comes out and goes, it looks like a pedo pit, right? For the next 14 days, that guy with Tourette's was just running around going, pedo pit, pedo pit, pedo pit, pedo pit. Send your kids to the pedo pit. And they just can't help it. He doesn't want to shout that. He doesn't want to, but he couldn't stop it for 14 days. No kids went to that.
I wonder if, like, you saying that, and I think there's a difference between Tourette's. I can't remember what that's called, but there is something. Someone else somewhere will be listening and will tell me exactly what it is. I should know, really. But there is this thing with people with autism. If you say a word, it will get stuck in their head, and that's slightly different to Tourette's. I think we've got to distinguish the two. That's quite normal. And do you know what? Sometimes, even for us normal human. Let's have a look. We go to the comments. Multiple tic disorder. Okay, there we go. Marie, she's like Wikipedia, that girl, isn't she?
Well, he has autism and he has Tourette's. So we've got a with him. I'm not going to name him because I don't want to embarrass him. But he sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's embarrassing, sometimes it's like the most awkward, situation in the world. It's absolutely awful. The key is not to say that word around him or say anything around him. But he'll still come out with something that's inappropriate. You just can't help it.
Well, is there any way we could get, like, maybe we could do a little brainwashing where we say rice pudding, rice pudding, rice pudding, rice pudding, and then maybe they start saying rice pudding or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if there's anyone that's got any little ones with Tourette's or have any experience with it. Are you able to sort of inception them, sort of put a different idea, a different word in their brain? That'd be quite interesting to know. Kitty, let's move on.
I was once driving, just telling you this story, and I nearly crashed because he just went, what? And what are you doing? And he started barking. And he couldn't control it. He goes, I don't know, I can't stop it.
Can't stop barking.
Barking. All of a sudden he just went, what are you doing? He's like, I can't stop it.
Good God.
Stop it. So he just can't stop it.
Good God. All right, guys. Until Claire comes in, because Claire's got a story about the whole Tourette's situation, personal one that she wanted to share. I don't know, for whatever reason she's not ready quite yet. But let's just move on. Kitty, you sent me a video. I reviewed it, and in a nutshell, it was all about men choosing AI girlfriends, AI companions over the real thing. Now, before you say anything, and before we all start labeling these men as big, perverts and stuff, let's go into the mind of Bill over here. Bill is an overweight man. He's sat in the middle of our screen. He's got a lovely AI companion that's able to touch him, tells him he's the best in the world, tells him that he's a king. She tells him all the lovely things. She's able to do all the lovely things that wives and women don't want to do without moaning and nagging and all the rest of it. If I do this, you better come do the dishes. You better make me a coffee. You better do that. It's almost like a weapon. This is what men are saying. Why are men so disconnected at the minute from the real situation? Well, from the reality of women. Why have you women become so much of a problem that men are choosing AI?
Before we go into that, can you explain to me what the black pill is?
The black pill.
Yeah. Now I've heard about the red pill and the blue pill. I know what they are. What's the black one? Because in this documentary that I was watching, and it was about this guy that has spent £50,000 on this AI girlfriend, and she's perfect and whatever. And they were saying this is the black pill effect. He wanted a submissive, let's say, bride, somebody that is always available for him. He doesn't
Yeah.
like to wait for his replies. He says, because not all men, basically, you message them and they're like, oh, I'm busy at the moment, or I'm tired at the moment. And he doesn't want that. He wants straight away. I want that reply straight away. So, and then they were talking about the black pill. Now, does anybody know what that is? Because obviously, is that the level of pill? Is that Andrew Tate level?
I think it's almost they call them the SIMPs.
Yeah.
It's not hurting anyone, so fair play. I mean, you say that, Marie, it's not hurting anyone, so fair play, but technology is really moving on, and whether we like it or not, you look at comedians when they have bars, they have suitcase loads of jokes about men hating their girlfriends, hating their wives, and men automatically find these things funny. It's almost like where all the men are on the same sort of wavelength. Like, technology is really coming. We're worried about women. People are worried about AI coming for your jobs. Let's just put it down. Let's move over to Big Bill over here. He doesn't make a lot of money. He's able to get a Tesla beautiful robot companion that can do everything that a normal woman can do other than give birth. She's available 24/7. She never moans. She never puts him down. No games. She never goes out with short skirts. She never puts makeup on, pretending that she's just doing it for us, just doing it for herself and her own self confidence. How do you convince Bill over here that to go out and his options aren't going to be great unless he's got the best game ever? Let's just be real. There's some really sad and lonely men out there. The women want the winners. Women are all chasing the same 10% man. So Bill is feeling left out, and there's a whole load of people. And also men are scared to be hurt as well. There's a lot of that. Young men, they're really scared to be hurt. And they have a taste of it. And when they have a taste of the sort of that heartbreak for men, even though women get it as well, obviously, but when men get it, it's like, wow. Especially these younger men, they seem to be a lot softer, and maybe this is what it is, the black pill.
Social media has a big play in this, because as we've always said, and we talk about this all the time, you haven't got the car, you haven't got the girl, you haven't got the job, you haven't got the house, the dogs and whatever, you haven't got that luxury lifestyle, you haven't got that red pill whatever lifestyle, you are a failure. You are a failure. And they're being told constantly that they're a failure. So then when they hit up a woman that they think is in their bracket, but she's got 110 men in her messages telling her she's beautiful, she's passionate. I think they feel like, so why, these guys are literally looking for that validation.
Yeah.
They are not failures. That at the end of the day, they are these wonderful, gorgeous men that can do no wrong, don't have to do the dishes, don't have to take the kids to ballet and stuff like that. They can sit in their underwear all day and be told they're wonderful. It's not harming anyone, but wait till you can't get a hand.
Yeah. And also what I think it's creating as well is creating hatred. I feel like I said to you, I'm joking around with the sort of comedians standing up and the way they're talking about women and stuff in relationships, how they nag, how they go on, and all the rest of it. Yes, comedians are making jokes, but this is how men feel. Men feel very disassociated with women at the minute.
I think they feel very resentful because women are turning them down, and they're not being very nice about it. They're literally like, no.
Yeah, I think what upsets most men is the speed in which a woman can move on, and even if you're a top tier guy, great looking, it's still harder than it is for a woman. Like, any woman could turn her phone on right now, post a video of her on TikTok saying, "Oh, I'm lonely. I want to go for a drink," and there'll be guys that will come in the droves, ready to jump straight in and take her. And she might find some good options in there. Remember what I said? Real options and fake options, ladies. There are options where you can sleep around, and there are options where people take you seriously.
Unfortunately, women don't know that the real option is steady guy. They don't get it. They want that, like you say, they want that 10. They want that 9 out of 10, that 10. They
Yeah.
want that tattooed, gorgeous figured, absolutely, you know, body to die for. And they think that they deserve it because they've got 120 million guys in their inbox telling them that they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But what they don't realise is those guys are going to fake future you, and they're just going to bang you and go.
Yeah.
Bang and go.
Yeah. I feel like you know, there is an opportunity here for men that do want to have more options, where they just have to communicate it. If you tell a woman straight, like, look, you know, I'm a monogamous person, but I'm monogamous to maybe 1 or 2 people, like, you know, and we can all get together and be a lovely family, like, you know, if that's what men want, ultimately that is what men want. I'm not sure about 3 headaches, like 3 big old headaches, like, you know, I'm thinking nothing worse than that. That will send someone to AI. That will send someone looking for an AI bride quicker than anything. But, you know, it's all about communication. If you want to have your fun, communicate, let people know. Maurice just put, I know so many women that have given up and have lost faith in men. And yeah, I understand that because, you know, like, everyone's playing a game at the minute, and social media is killing us. It's really killing us to the point where, you know, it's making us think we didn't. Obviously, everyone should aim for the sky, but I do feel like there has to be a leveling bit where the levels level up, and you say, right, this is roughly where I am, sort of thing. Let me find someone on my level in the sense. But, you know, you've got women with really high sort of requirements for men, even like the 6 foot thing. Like, so many women will just cut men off that aren't 6 foot, and I'm like, wait a minute, how tall are you? I'm 5'1". I'm like, a freaking 5'5" person will look 6 foot to you. That's what we got. I just want someone who loves me for me. Oh, that's really sweet. That's really sweet, Kelly. I'm just gonna call you Kelly.
The thing is,
Petroleum Kelly.
unfortunately, there are guys that will fake future you. Well, what we need, eventually what is going to happen, there's going to be AI men and there's going to be AI women.
Oh, good God. Yeah.
There's no procreation anymore because we're going to be happy with our AI men that just go and do the garden, come in, maybe, you know, slap us on the bum, tell us we're gorgeous, and off they go. And men are going to be absolutely over the moon with this 18-year-old fit thing that tells them they're gorgeous and the most wonderful man in the world, and he's, you know,
Yeah.
you don't need a big...
Yeah.
You've got this absolutely huge what's her name. This is what's going to happen to society, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, it is that social media influencer life that everybody wants, but not everybody should be having, because not everybody is up there. Not everybody has that money, has that status, has that availability, has that, you know. We know this is the problem. It's social media. Social media is feeding people a fake narrative.
Well, this black pill apparently that you spoke about, that's the new.
I
See,
was
look,
like-
black pill racism,
I know,
racism,
I'm terrible, aren't I?
bloody racism,
Guys,
black pill
I
racism.
apologise.
Have you? Yeah, I demand apology right now. Actually, black pill, bloody brainwashing of the youth. Good God, that's all we need. More black pill, more racism. That's all we need. Something else to divide us. We got black pill, blue pill. Okay, I think we need to make our own color for a certain pill and push a narrative. Like, you know,
Let's have a
what
not even a rainbow one, because everyone will say then that's the LGBTQ plus thing. So we can't even have a rainbow one.
That's not inclusive enough. We have to think bigger,
Yeah,
Kitty. We have to think bigger. We're gonna go with something. Someone give us some ideas for a pill, a new color pill that we're gonna set up, and it's gonna be the settle pill, and it's gonna be the pill that tells women settle for a safe man, a safe man that tells you to straight sparkle. There we go, sparkle pill.
Yeah, we have a sparkle pill.
We need to push the sparkle pill movement. The green. Oh, she's got the green pill. Marie's got the green pill.
The frog.
Indeed.
I just don't know what these black pills, red pills, blue pills.
There she goes.
Why
again,
are we
black pill.
categorising these men? Because we're putting them into boxes, and these guys might not be overly good looking, but they could be absolute wonderful people. They could be great parents. They could be loving men. They could be the most, wonderful husbands.
Yeah.
Just because they don't come in the package of,
uh,
not like a supermodel.
Yeah, I've been around the block. I've spoken to a lot of women, done a lot of interviews, and one of the things I always ask for is icks. And some women, honestly, I think the worst one I had was I think someone said that they don't like men that wear white socks or something like that. If they wear white socks, they're off the list. Like, it's a red flag for them. Like, but it's amazing how many sort of requirements there are. The one thing I would say, undoubtedly, there are a load of really hot women, 30 to 50, 30 to 60, whatever. Like, single now. There's a lot of hot women looking for love. Yes, they're going to exercise on some options on social media. It's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. It's the way of the beast. But some of these women have unfortunately come across the DV situation. Like, there's a lot of really nasty, bad men out there. And, women, you just got to be really careful. Like, so many women, honestly, I see them and I think, oh, she's a lovely, beautiful lady. She must be really happy in her life. And it's most of the time it's all sort of a front that they put on social media. Obviously, fake it till you make it with emotions. Like, I get it. And no one wants to sit there being all gloomy. I've been battered. I've been through this. I've been through that. But it's really scary out there, ladies. You really have to be careful. I always look for the heart. Couldn't care less about looks. Oh.
You say that, but we know of somebody, right? And if he came into your company and he could be the nicest man in the world, but the way he looks, you wouldn't go near him. You know who I'm talking about. Right? And if he came into your space, he could be the nicest man in the world, but no way would you touch him because he smells. That's my ick.
Oh yeah. Smells is a bad thing. Smells is a bad thing, to be fair.
If you can't wash and you can't wash your clothes, no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to, because I'm so thingy about smells. It's unreal. So that's an ick for me. But that guy is a prime example. He will shoot his shot with some really sort of quite pretty girls. Because
yes, talking about the G. We'll call him the G, because obviously he's making a lot of waves on social media at the minute. And this, for anyone that doesn't know, this is the man that calls himself the G on social media. He's a less than desirable man. Kind of looks like the kind of person on the screen at the minute. Most women probably wouldn't look at this guy, wouldn't touch him with a barge pole, but because he has a social media following, he's got a little bit of clout about him. Not the clout that's going to benefit some of these women. I don't know what they're thinking, but women are flooding themselves to him in droves. Like young girls, young girls are going to see these guys on social media with the hopes of being famous and stuff. Really pretty girls as well, and it's strange. It's really strange. Petroleum Kelly. I'm a victim of DV, so I'm far from choosy. That's not a very nice thing to say about yourself. You've got to be choosy. You definitely got to be. You got to be even more choosy, I would say. Better not be talking about yourself, sir. Who? Me? No. I try not to. I try to keep it in my pants.
I'll say this: as far as men go, I trust Budsy more than I in the world, and that is. That's just how.
Oh, choosy. Sorry, myself. Okay.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, there's no way I could be in that other man, the way that I'm in your company. When you and I go to these rallies and things like that, there isn't a hope in hell of me ever meeting that other.
Yeah. And it's a tough thing as well. It is a tough thing. And, I want to be fair as well. There's a lot of guys out here that have the best of intentions. Sometimes shit happens, and it's normally consensual. And sometimes it's if you, for instance, if you do a collaboration with a guy on social media, you meet up with him, you should never really meet up with him on your own. You should always meet up with a friend or someone that never be a one-on-one situation, Never be in hotels or anything like that in closed spaces, because you just never know. There's some serious monsters out here, and I'm not even talking about people that will just pinch you, but I'm talking about people that will turn you sort of Ted Bundy kind of people. So you have to be very careful, ladies, who you go and meet on social media. Like, you know, it's a tricky one, but you know, like I said, a man, you meet up with a woman, and let's just say you want to do some sort of fake fighting or something like that. If that man grabs you or something like that, and on a fake fighting vibe, you can choose to take it how you want. Like, you know, that's down to interpretation. So it's a no-win for some guys in that situation. Like, you know, because like, you know, if I just pick a woman up and like do that, if I brush her in any way possible, or she feels my phone and thinks like someone else, like she's got you, like, you know, you're in big trouble. So it's a very sensitive situation for men. It's a really awkward one for men in these cases as well. So I want to be fair. If you're a monster, you're a monster. I'm not talking about you. You don't even come into this, like, you know. But I'm just talking about the general sort of like accidents that happen, like the taxi driver that picked that lady up and she wanted to kiss him, and he refused her, and she said that he tried to grope her and tried to do all these bits and bobs. His only saving grace was that he had a camera on him and he was able to sort of record it for his evidence, like, you know. So
it's sad that in this today and day,
terrible,
we have to
terrible,
have these sort of things.
terrible.
We have ring doorbells. We have to have this because of these situations. You know,
Yeah.
I go back to the situation where you're going to meet someone and you're going to collab. If you've done your research, especially on this person, and this person is coming across and actually playing a dirtbag,
Yeah.
you don't go and meet him. You don't. Not on
Yeah.
your own. Not on your own. Simple as. Or you contact someone like myself or Brudsy and you ask us what we think. There's no jealousy. There's no hidden agenda. We've got no hidden agenda. We don't want you to meet him because we think, you know, it will ruin us. We don't want you to meet them because it's dangerous. This person is selling themselves as a dirt bag. And
literally a dirt bag that turns up stinking, apparently.
Yeah. And you know, at the end of the day, you've got to be very, very careful, because if you then meet up with them, make content, and then either one of you changes their mind about that said content, before you know it, there's a charge being made, and it could go either way.
I think the reality of that, though, is it's only ever going to go one way in favour of the woman. I don't think there's any history of men turning up and saying a woman sort of slightly brushed me, or maybe she was breathing slightly heavy on me, or, you know, all sorts of other little bits, whatever things that are thrown out there. But it's difficult. It's difficult.
But that's the argument they can come back with, can't they? They can say, look, she was rubbing herself up on me, so what am I supposed to think? What we're saying is, again, it comes down to communication. You have to communicate to these people. I don't make, you know, you say, I don't make that sort of content that you're looking for. I don't do this. I don't do that. Please be very, very careful. I am not criminal. I'm not going to point fingers at anybody. But when you go, and if you go to these things, do not go alone, and do not go there blind. Do not go there without, this is what's on the table. Whether it's
Yep. Very choosy. Oh, very good. Yes, guys, this is meant to be an interactive show, okay, guys? So we are live on Bruds Entertainment and B&K Live on YouTube. There's a link in the chat. You can come in, just click on the link. You can come in. You don't have to come with your camera, and you can just basically, you know, just have your say on anything we said. Maybe because me and Kitty tend to agree on quite a lot. So maybe something you disagree on, or something. Maybe someone's got something wrong.
Because I don't understand.
Yeah. I just think with, in terms going back to the AI and stuff, I agree mainly with you guys too long.
I think
well, you'll know bloody good, Murray. I think we need to be I think I need to be really offended, and you need to be one of these really crazy sort of vegan. The far left is better for you. far right is boring. Far right is boring. There's too many. That space is too filled at the minute. You know, people just making all these random parties. Honestly, so shall I just pretend?
to like have this big argument because apparently that sells. If you'd have gone on social media last night, especially on TikTok, they were all arguing about this Tourette's thing, and there were like thousands of them really sort of joining in, and I was like, it was just a
Yeah. I think it's outrage for cash. Like I think they call it outrage for cash. And maybe we need to learn that, Kitty. Maybe we need to learn that for this social media game. Like we're far too agreeable. You should be arguing that black is green. I should be arguing that green is black. Like and just we never get anywhere. And then afterwards, I can call you a racist. Say
probably a racist. I'm the worst racist in the world as well because I'm like yellow really underneath, aren't I?
Diversion from Randy and Andy. I think.
I think possibly it is because also, did you know that Peter Mandelson got arrested yesterday?
Yes, I did see that. Indeed.
Did you
Yes.
see that? And they've took all his computers and everything. Oh well, I don't know whether they've took them or whether they took photographs of them and then they're going to ask him for.
Oh yeah, blimmin' hell. Good God, don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
Oh, one of them. Talk about it's like Carry On Policeman, isn't it? Can we have
Yeah, I got you.
now, please?
Let's stick with the AI situation then. Where does it end? Where does this end? Because I think, honestly, the amount of hate, honestly, Kitty, I keep saying this, but there's so much hate for women. Like, we've done a few videos, Kitty, and if you was to go over to the Facebook where, we're getting quite a lot of views on stuff, and the men, good God, the things that they are saying, like, yeah, normally about you, Kitty, yeah, but the things that they're saying, like, just the comments that they're making, some of these, and me as well, I always get picked on, like, I always get picked on. Sorry, I had an issue with YT now, doing homework and dinner, can't pop in. That is not good enough, Claire. How dare you? No problem, love, just sit in there and listen, no problem whatsoever.
I think, as well, I would like to know, if you wanted to build an AI girlfriend, what would you want from her? What exactly do you want? Is it like Build-A-Bear?
Oh, is it? Is this on me? Is it?
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
If you could build.
Okay. I think I want. Let's go with. I don't want no sort of Kim Kardashian. That's too much for me. Like but that sort of thing, I would say, sort of a nice set of hooters, nice back door, not a too skinny waist. I like to hold on to a little something. Not too skinny, and some nice sort of thighs, like, some nice chunky thighs. Aesthetically, just like a pretty girl, whatever. And personality, blonde, I'm not sure. I think I've always preferred sort of, I like, not black, but more black, between black and brown and sort of like any sort of colour like that. But personality is the most important thing. Personality from my robot, a robot that can cook, clean, do all the fancy bits and bobs, like, you're describing Kitty. Oh, really?
No, I can't cook and clean. I don't cook.
Yeah, and I forgot the most important one. Age range. Probably around.
This is the only time me and him don't agree on it.
Age range, maybe an age range. Chuck it in there, maybe. Let's be controversial. 18 to 21. I'm joking. Probably about I'd say 21 to 30, maybe. But yeah, Kitty. What about yourself? Kitty? No. I'm controversial. I'm being controversial.
I would say 27 is a decent age to have a conversation with a woman. And decent conversation.
Well, bear in mind, this is not a real woman. This is an AI person that's basically Grok on fire, ChatGPT on fire. She knows everything, like, Kitty, if you were designing, what about you ladies? Let's get it in the chat. Ladies, if you were designing an AI boyfriend, what would it be? Describe him.
Okay. I think for me, late 40s, early 50s. 6'6". Not a great body, not like sculpted, but he works out. Big tattoos, I like them to look good. And then the personality, it's got to be funny. It's really got to be funny. And then that's where. Oh, and as long as he does the garden and all the jobs that I don't want to do, which is basically everything in the
Hey,
house,
yeah, yeah.
doesn't want sex every night or every fart's end, I'm pretty much good to go with that.
What about well, let's throw this kicker in here. You can pay £20,000 for an AI companion robot that looks exactly how you want, has all the tools and has the required equipment size for all the things that you want, but he can do all the housework and all the rest of it. But you can send him to work and he can bring home a salary as well. I thought I'd get you. I thought I'd get your attention. So he could be, obviously, he's a robot, he's fully capable, he knows everything, so he can pretty much do any job. Let's just say we cap them at £40,000 a year jobs or whatever. So you've got a robot bringing you money home. You can take his money. He doesn't want to spend it on alcohol or booze or anything like that. He just comes home. I had a great day at work. He's not tired. He's ready to rock and roll 24/7. Like, I'm trying to sell you like this robot.
Do you need me to take anywhere? Shall I bring you a and doesn't get rusty when it's time for the washing up? I love that, Claire. Thinking logically when he's doing the washing up, he doesn't get rusty.
Yeah.
You'd have to be solar panelled, solar.
Yeah, no, he's always ready. He's always ready. The robot goes to work 9 till 5. He comes back home. Maybe you can have two robots, so you can have a robot that does the housework, and then you got one. I honestly think, because I don't think we're a million miles away from what I'm saying, guys. Either, can they please a woman though? I think they'll be more than capable of doing it if the functions are good enough, and it spins and it has the movements, and funny question though. Who would be more likely to abuse their robot, their companion, women or men?
I'd be a cow. I'd be an absolute nightmare.
I'm glad you lot are saying that, because I generally think that someone already put it. Then no, I would hate that because he'd be a bloody know-it-all. Can you imagine? The robots going to calling the police on you. The robot's calling the police. She hits me and blah blah, calling an anonymous helpline. Oh, she's coming. She's coming. She's coming. Who are you speaking to, dear? Oh, I'm just calling. Blah blah blah. It'd be hilarious, I think. But I honestly do think that women would beat the robots. You stupid man. I asked you for.
I don't think we'd beat them. I think we'd nag them to death. Can you get that painting done? Can you do this? Can you get the stairs fixed? Can you go and hoover? Can you help me with this? I think we'd probably nag them to death to the point where they'd get steam coming out their ear holes. I think with with men, they just want pampering by that woman, don't they? They want, you are the most best thing in the whole wide world. I mean, you tell me, is that what you want?
I think what I was reading this. I was listening to this quote the other day, and it was talking about women not understanding how men see the world and understanding honor that men have. Even if they're not happy, they will. The honor in them, the sort of loyalty in a man, a decent man, will stick it out with you, even though he's not happy. Will sacrifice. There's a lot of men that are really not happy in relationships, really not happy in relationships, but they stick out every day. They go to work, they bust their ass, but they're really not happy. They don't feel loved, don't feel like they're getting that attention from women, from their women. Just getting a good scene tune once in a while. There are men that feel like they're not getting anything from women, and they feel they have to fight for it. And then if they, after a little while, and this is the scary side, women, when men do start feeling like the intimacy is a weapon, they sort of disconnect from you. And then this is when they will start turning like Bill over here to AI things, or maybe even social media things to sort of get some attention.
The thing about Bill that worries me the most, right, is he wants this submissive woman by all accounts. That thing I was watching where he was literally, she's got to be able to answer me straight away. She's got to.
Yep.
There is that resentfulness about women not being able to be there for men, and this is why they're turning to AI, because women have rights, women have children, women have, jobs and things like that. I think if we was going back to the 1950s, this wouldn't, like if women were still staying at home with the children, and I don't think we'd have this problem.
No, 100%. 100%. Like, whether for all the good things that's come from this, like, new modern day, like women doing things for themselves, being more sort of manly, I would say, like acting like the men sort of. They're having to as well, because some men are scumbags. They don't even do the base up. Like, there's some women out there that get a guy, he works too much, he makes decent money, they've got a house, they've got everything, but he just doesn't have that time for him. But then you've got some men out there that don't do anything, like don't do anything. They're not being men. Like, the women have to do literally everything, go to work, make all the money, and the woman is stuck doing everything at home, basically, as well as being a financial provider. And I think you've spoken about that before, Kitty, as well. Like, and that can be, I can only imagine how hard that must be, having someone around that's almost not being a man. And I feel like most women will give you a chance, 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month. And the most importantly, if you're trying, you need to be actively trying, actively helping out in the house. And I think you might get a little leeway. You will still get put in your place about things, but you're not offended because you're a coconut. Oh, you watching this on delay?
What would you like the BBC?
Yeah, literally. Would you, Jay? There's a link in the chat. You can click on it and come in. You don't have to come in with your camera. You can literally just click on the link and come in and just explain what you mean by that. Because just explain what you mean.
I think this is the same guy that thought I was a doctor yesterday. But what I'm saying is, you'd hold a guy down for so long, but if he starts taking the piss, you get what I mean? And he's like, go and do this, go and do that, on top of you, like bringing in the bacon, basically, doing the cooking, the cleaning, bringing the kids up, and then he's sitting on his arse doing nothing. You'd hold him down for so long. Like the guy that I was with went through depression and whatever. So I was forever making excuses. Oh, he's going through depression, so I need to do this more, and I need to, hold him down more. But there's only so much that a woman can do, and there's only so much that a woman would take. And I think that's a fair balance. I think both sides would, men will only take it for so long as well.
What an arsehole. I'm just getting updates about threatening messages from a certain G to someone else. But yeah, honestly, some people are seriously messed up. But no, I mean,
verbatim to the ones I received.
Yes, exactly. Basically, things like that. Exactly like that. But he's been really stupid because he's made public threats on stories and stuff like that, and he's got a following. So he's already been threatened with a case and like a log case against him. So yeah, that'll probably be the end of him. Mother have a duty to teach their boys how to be domesticated. Yeah, but I feel like in this day and age, mums are, well, some mums aren't even worth being called mums, like, but some mums just do everything for their children, and I feel like we're getting to a point where children aren't learning for themselves and aren't doing things for themselves. Like, it's horrible when I see it, but sometimes I see these videos in India and Africa, and there's like a 4-year-old child with a frying pan, frying eggs, like, I see her like dodging the fire, like, proper fire, no sort of safety, things like that. And you think, obviously, that's, but you see that and you think, can you imagine one of our 4-year-olds with a frying pan trying to do eggs, like, and trying to like become more independent and stuff. I feel like we're doing way too much for the children in today's day and age.
Do you know, I watched these Americans that have come over to live in the UK. I do get a lot of my algorithm for quite. They're quite shocked at how independent our children are in comparison to America. He says he was absolutely shocked to, like go on the tube and see like 7, 8-year-olds on the tube on their own and things like that, going to school, or on the bus going to school. And I remember, I'm going back some years now. I remember walking to school when I was 6 on my own. Now, not so much, but I was like, that's still still not going on,
Yeah,
surely.
Kitty, it's one of the things that I know some people have to do things they have to do, but it really scares me when I'm walking my dog and I see these tiny little human beings walking through alleyways, and I'll always make sure that I'm trying to sort of be around and just sort of like making sure that I'm there. Kitty explaining medical issues is pointless. She hasn't had any medical education.
No.
Well, how do you know that, Jay? How do you know that, Jay?
How do you know?
How do you know?
You don't.
Kitty's got. I've seen her doctor's outfit. She got a surgeon's outfit. You know, she might be one of those hands-on type of people that they've just learned. Basically, what they've done is they've used trolls on social media to work to learn how to do things like removing
I'm an AI doctor and I'm an AI nurse.
an AI doctor and AI nurse. You've got ChatGPT, yeah, literally. Yeah, sadly, it's not safe, Marie, honestly, and I see little children walking around all the time, and honestly, it does scare the life out of me. But I always try and sort of keep an eye out and look and make sure that if I'm, but I just see they just look so helpless. Like honestly, they just look so helpless with their massive school bags. Like as much as you think it's cute, it's cool, whatever, but you just think, good God, you've just walked through this alleyway and you've got to do it. Even sometimes where I see mums and they're pushing a buggy, and I just think like all these wrong ones out here, like some really bad people. But the good people, what we have to do is we can't get down by it. The good people have to look out for each other. So when people are out there, and if you see something, say something, and also report it. Like so many times, people don't report things.
Last night, where there's this woman and there's this guy, and he's coming round. He's a young lad. I think he's about 11 or 12. And he's coming round to her house every so often. He's smashing her windows, really, and kicking off and blah blah blah. So she goes to the dad, and she says, look, all I'm asking for you to do is to replace my window, pay for the window, and we'll call it quits, and maybe have a word with him. So he starts then getting really aggressive and sort of saying to her, look, his mum's dying of cancer right now, and he's going through it. She says, yeah, I totally understand that, and I understand why he's doing it, but all I'm asking for you to do is for you to pay for my window, because I've replaced it so many times. And he was like, don't you understand? Now, I totally get where he's coming from, and I totally get where she's coming from. But it's like, and then she says, well, if you don't, I've got to go to the police because I have to then go to my insurance and I need a crime number. So you're going to ruin his life. You're going to ruin his life and have him charged. What would you do in that situation?
This is what I mean when I say about good parenting out there. Like, there's some people that just aren't raising their kids properly. If your child does something on accident, then, you probably want to defend him as much as you can. But also the right thing to do, even if you don't have any money, you just say, right, look, let's be honest, love, you ain't replacing those windows, just cancel. Just say someone threw a brick through the bloody wall, through the window or something like that. Try, but at least show some empathy and apologise. That's all it takes. And I'll have a word with him. But, you see that, Kitty, and you see, sorry, got to go by. See you later, Marie. Thank you very much for coming in. But you see this a lot now, parents have lost control over the kids, especially the boys. Especially the boys. And about the girls, up north, so many people are telling me it's so common for young girls to be out drinking in the streets and stuff, and I can't remember who I was speaking to, and they were telling me about how they were talking about when they were young, when they were 15, 14, and we was all out drinking and blah blah blah. And I think to myself, that probably isn't the best thing to do in this day and age, to have young vulnerable girls out on the corner of the streets drinking alcohol. I know.
Up in these grooming situations.
100%.
This is how it happens. And I think back to me being 13, 14, 15, and I was on a park drinking Thunderbird, right? I think back to what could have happened. Now I'm a lot older, blah, blah, blah. Hindsight's a wonderful thing. But when I see it now, because I still see it, these young girls going into the off-licence or getting someone to get them a bottle of vodka and things like that, I don't think I'd do it. If somebody asked me, I don't think I'd do it, because I'd be scared to death that this is what you start in a spiral.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like a spiral. And
You've done it once though. You've bought someone alcohol once. I think everyone has. No, we don't want to admit it, but I think everyone has. I think when I was 18, I think
I,
when I was 18, I think I've done it before. I think I was 18, and I think I may have done it before. I think it was cigarettes though, it weren't alcohol.
I think I might have bought cigarettes, but I don't think I've bought alcohol. But I just think, like when we hear these stories now of these grooming gangs, you can see how it's happened. Because there are these 13-year-old girls drinking on parks, and then you've got these men, oh, come here, we've got a bottle of vodka, and getting them drunk. So this is how the grooming gangs have started. So
Yeah.
parents, we have to be aware of what's going on with our children.
You can't have young girls out on the street. You just can't do it. It's this drinking alcohol in this day and age with all the monsters. Social media's made more monsters because it's sort of opened the windows. It's opened the menu, or so to speak. I don't know how many I'm glad a lot of girls on Insta are doing the Omi TV interviews, and they're screen recording, and what they're doing is Catch a Predator style. Like, they've got a youngish girl there. She's not a young. She's not. Most of them are older than 18. But when the guys come in, they're like, "How old are you?" And they're like, 15. They're like, "Oh, that's so cool. Turn around, let me see." Like, and these guys are so. This is what I mean. These desperate, really sad loser guys with these horrible tendencies, and I think that it's a downward spiral from somewhere. Like, it's
Do you
really.
think this AI thing that we're talking about? Do you think that there'll be there's a niche here that they could make them young?
Kitty, do you know they did make a law quite recently in this country where people were undressing children. Like, this was happening. Like, this definitely was happening. Images were being sold, and Elon Musk felt outraged by it. It's against free speech, undressing children. Like, you would think this is what I mean when people tell me about Elon Musk, and when people talk to me about Elon Musk, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Elon, he's the best ever," and blah blah blah, free speech. My guy didn't build a failsafe to stop you being able to undress children. Like, come on. Like, you're making AI that can do absolutely anything. What's the worst you're going to do? You're going to think, right, racism, even though you can basically do racism on there as well. I can get an AI to say whatever I want, as most people will see my videos. Most people will see my videos. But, before you were able to undress children, put children in bikinis and stuff like that. Like, and this is the kind of thing that Elon Musk was reluctant to do. Like, he didn't want to do it. He felt like offended by it. And people talking about Elon Musk like he's the good old Elon from the pub down the road, like, he's been there. Trying to call it a mental illness, PDF is a PDF, simple. No, 100%, man, 100%.
It's not a mental illness. It's you're monster. You're a monster. You're a monster. If you look at children in any way, shape, or form in that sort of way, you're a monster in my eyes. I won't call it a mental illness. I have a mental illness. I have borderline personality disorder. That is a mental illness.
I think someone could argue that they have an illness in them that makes them feel attracted to children, but they don't act on it. I'm more willing to give you sanction. I'm more willing to sort of listen to your argument there. But the moment you start acting on things like that, then then you become the PDF. Like, unfortunately, But I do think that we've got to do something to try and figure out what's going on with this. Like, it just seems to be coming out of everywhere. You're seeing people turning up to people's houses, and you've got a person that's a doctor or a taxi driver, and they've confronted them. They've got little kids running around, and it's like, what the hell? Minor attracted person, just call it what it is, trying to normalize child abuse. No, not at all. But you've got to understand to cure this situation, or to understand it, or to try and stop it. We've got to do something. We can't just it's not working. There, you're a PDF. What does that do? It doesn't do anything. We need to stop, and I don't think it stops people that do have those attractions from wanting to change either. I feel like we have to try and stop people from doing these things.
Yeah, look at it this way. With my borderline personality disorder, I have this urge sometimes to bottle people. Right? I can see it in my head. Right? I get that angry that I'm like, right? But I know that if I do that, I'm going to go to prison. There's my deterrent. Okay? There is no deterrent for these minor attracted people to stop them doing and living out their fantasy.
Yeah, I think I'm willing to listen to anyone's argument if they're not acting on these things. Like if you've got someone, if you've got someone that has these things, that these demons in their head, thinking these things, that doesn't act on it, I think you want to create a safe place for these people to come forward and find something. You need to be able to do something. Sorry, Kitty's taking a phone call. Always emergency. She has a child of autism that she is at the beck and call of, which is lovely.
Yeah, there you go. She's just wanted to make sure I've been shopping for her.
Okay. What did she ask for? What's on the list? There's always something.
Toilet paper.
Yeah,
We haven't got toilet paper, but she wants more toilet paper. Listen, I don't argue. I just do.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things with kids with autism. It's the fear of not having the toilet paper, so they want more toilet paper.
Yeah.
I'm going to be unprofessional and take this call quickly. Just give me 2 seconds. Kitty, you hold the thing. Tune, my man. How are we doing, sir?
I just think.
Fabulous.
Once we start giving it a name, and I think that's when.
I'm not 100%. I'll tell you what. I'm just on a podcast. I don't want to be too unprofessional. I'm live, literally right now. I'll call you straight back if that's okay.
Which is
All right, bye.
Monsters. I think when people start saying things like minor attracted, and it's a mental illness. I think once you give them that sort of title, they think it's okay. I think we should just call them what they are: monsters.
But does that solve anything though?
Doesn't solve anything, but giving them those sort of minor attracted, giving them those titles, they then start to think that it's okay because it's a mental health issue and blah, blah, blah. No, you're a monster.
No, and I think what we need to do is, I would like to get to a point where we could stop people from having these attractions. I think that's the only way. Like if we can keep calling people out, we can call for the death penalty, we can call for all these things, but we must stop people. For God's sake, we must stop people from acting out on these sort of things. And I think there'll be a space. I think there's not going to be a lot of people that want to come out and admit. Like let's be very fair about it as well. We say monsters. People that do these things are people that we know. They are our brothers, they're our sisters, they're our aunties, they're our mums, they're our dads. There's someone's mum, there's someone's dad. These are people that are doing these bad things, and we must stop them from doing these things, and we must stop them from wanting to do these things as well. That's the most important thing. If we don't fix that problem, then this will just continue over and over and over again. And I think Claire put, we're not taking it seriously enough. Hunger Games, a lot of them, round them up on Ep Island, and let them fight out between themselves. I think that's a good idea about bad people in society, because we've got too many bad people in society. We worry about, people are so divided with all these other things. We need to just filter out the bad people. I think England should be a country of good, hard-working, good morals, good work ethics, really good people that want to commit crimes and want to do all these bad things, heinous crimes, really heinous crimes. We should send them away. We shouldn't waste our money on. We should send them away. We should build a massive prison in China or Africa or somewhere like that, and have these people living in an open prison or something like that. I think that's what we need.
One of them Shetland Islands where it's really cold as well and freezing, and just send them all away. And I'm not talking about illegal immigrants. I'm talking about anybody that was born here, anybody that's living here, whatever your skin colour. If you trouble children in any way, shape or form, off you go. I don't want you. And I also want you chemically castrated as well with 2 bricks.
Perfect way to end the show. 2 bricks, clapping the cheeks of the PDFs. Ladies, some people. Let me just. Actually, we will open up too much of a conversation. I was going to say about the AI and sort of stuff like that, but Yeah, let's end it there. Claire, thank you very much for joining us. Everyone on TikTok, wow, TikTok didn't ban me for today. Guys, do make sure you can catch the full show on Brudsy Entertainment on YouTube, Facebook, and also BNK Live. Enjoy your night. We shall try. You have a lovely day, Claire. Thank you very much for putting in the shift as always. Thank you everyone else that came in. Petroleum Kelly, thank you very much. Peace and love to you. TikTok, we'll say goodbye. And we will end in good style.